지본요라임 니유도 좀 We are gathered here today to observe our Shotsuki monthly memorial service. This is our monthly service to remember friends and loved ones who have passed away in the month of May. They are Faith Sumi Arakawa, Emiko Arata, Marianne Babaoka, Nancy Tsuruko Chinen, Satoru Fujimura, Toshiko Fujishige, Ken Hamamoto, Nui Hatanaka, Kozo Hattori, Ayako Hayashi, Carol Lynn Keiko Hewitt, Mieko Higashi, Tsukino Hirano, Thomas Masaji Inamasu, Elva Kyoko Inoue, Matsunosuke Ishihara, Yoshio Itaya, Fred Masaru Ito, Setsuko Kajioka, Mary Kato, Misao Kato, Tadakazu Mike Kato, Tetsuya Kato, Lily Yuriko Kitagawa, Teruko Komore, Itsuyo Kubo, Eva Wong Kuboyama, Shoji Kuwabara, Paul Matsumoto, Wayne Patrick Mitsuda, Yai Miyai, Kaname Ben Miyamoto, Kimiko Mori, Lois Yukiko Morimoto, Kei Kifu Morita, Tsuki Moriwaki, A. Murakami, Yoshiaki Murano, Dennis Hajime Nagai, Naoko Nakaoka, Shizuma Nakaoka, Nancy Fumiko Natsuhara, Yoshio Nonaka, Iwao Oji, Mieko Oji, Asano Otsuka, Toshie Reinhardt, Michiko Mary Ryuto, Toshiko Ryuto, Deborah Saiki, Misako Saiki, Hachiiro Sakai, Terry Saruwatari, Patsy Hisako Sato, Jinji Shiba, Kazu Shibata, Kiichi Kei Shiga, Yukio Shimizu, Henry Shinoto, Hideo Bob Shinoda, Heihachi Sugimoto, Lillian Tanaka, William Taniguchi, Kiyoshi Tashima, Sam Sanji Teranishi, George Masao Tomura, Kiraku Torigoe, Takako Tsunekawa, Shigemi Tsushima, Sadao Raymond Tsutsumi, Russell Rusty Tsutsumi, Sadako Ueda, Sam Haruo Umeda, Yasuko Mary Wakai, Chiyoko Watanabe, Jim Watanabe, Keen Watanabe, Kiyoshi Watanabe, Jane Shizuko Yabumoto, Clarence Takeshi Yamada, and Marie Yamada. We realized in the cherished memories of those we love and have lost. The impermanence of all the world is revealed. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intentions. May the beauty of the flowers offered remind us of life's impermanence. May the lights that burn brightly on the altar lead our thoughts to Amida Buddha's light of wisdom and compassion. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Naman Butsu. Naman. Okay, so at this time, please join me in the chanting of Sambutsuge. And Sambutsuge can be found in our service book, starting on page 81. And I welcome all of you to come forward to burn incense during the chanting of Sambutsuge. 供養一切死と小仏不尿愚道検証不逆非尿誤邪小仏正解不不影無臭節度光明師匠変死尿税精進非人大量量が差仏国土第一公主奇妙道場超絶国尿内音任務とそがと愛民と脱一切地方大小心熱症状人が国気楽はのん好物神妙税が心象発願の日力少所欲地方生存知恵無限浄土子孫知が信行けど心死食読中画行精進忍術不敬大曼大部大曼大部大曼大部大曼大部大曼大部大曼大部観にしぐどく平等正祭東の大神お嬢あんあNamanda Butsinamanda 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 Namanda 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 Okay, so we'll continue the service with the singing of the Gatha Tsuicho no Uta, verses 1 and 2, and this can be found on page 222, and this will be followed by the reading of the three treasures found on page 2. Please stand if you are able. Three treasures. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not deliver ourselves in the present life, no hope is there that we shall be freed from suffering and sorrow in the ocean of birth and death. Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of your way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves your supreme will. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in your life of harmony and a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namandavats, 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 Namandavats. Thank you. Okay, so today I'd like to share my Dharma message, and it's kind of an extension from my time with Cortez Hawakai, and I shared some thoughts on Thursday with my Cortez Hawakai online, and I wanted to elaborate a little bit more as I continue to think about this particular topic. And I was mentioning with our Cortez Hawakai friends that it's been 2 months since I celebrated my 46th birthday, and for some reason this one was a little bit harder to swallow than my previous birthdays. And perhaps it's because I made the transition from my mid-40s to my late 40s now, or maybe just certain things. But also, I've mentioned before, too, that at 50, which now will be in 4 years, it'll mark half of my life that I've been without my mother. And it's very possible that these types of conditions of my life weighed heavily on my heart and mind this year. And as I've aged each year, I've noticed many changes in my body, and my eyes get worse. You could ask Dr. John Fuji. They get worse each year, every single time I see him. And I went from single vision glasses in college, and now I need progressive lenses, which requires me to see, or which allows me to see distance up here, the computer right about here, and then reading a book down here. And how many of you have worn progressive glasses before? Aren't they hard to get used to? It's hard to find that sweet spot for being able to see all of these different views. And so my body, of course, has different aches and pains in places where I've never had aches and pains. And my weight gain, and if you've known me since I was little, my weight has always been kind of troublesome for me, but it's getting distributed on places in my body that I previously felt comfortable and accepting towards. So, and with each new doctor visit comes a new diagnosis too. So, following last winter holiday, I started feeling nauseated and I had a lot of discomfort in my abdomen. But I was just maybe thinking, it's the stress of the holidays. I procrastinated and didn't do all of my shopping until probably the very last minute. I was hosting Christmas at my house. And so I just thought, oh, you're just a little bit nervous. But even after Christmas, I had a constant kind of upset stomach. And since it wasn't going away and I was getting nervous, I went to my doctor due to the pain, and she ordered x-rays, which she found gallstones in my gallbladder. And this then prompted her to order an ultrasound to see further, which not only confirmed my gallstones, which was 2.5 centimeters, it's kind of big. Yeah, but also sludge in my gallbladder, which is a pretty yucky thing to think about. So, and to make matters even more worrisome, I was diagnosed with a fatty liver. So following the tests and during my consultation, she noted that surgery to remove my gallbladder wasn't warranted at the time, and I trusted her judgment, and she had just instructed me to change my diet and of course start exercising. So with all of this new information in the back of my mind, with all of these new different diagnoses, and even being pre-diabetic, you would think that I would be scared straight to get my act together. But if you can imagine, responsibilities at home and my temple remained. I fell ill with COVID in March, and I didn't prioritize my health and diet, and I just ate whatever was convenient. So let's fast forward to this past Sunday. So that's December, January, February, March, April, May, or maybe April. So last Sunday, I went to our local steakhouse. How many of you have been to Prime Table Steakhouse? It's really good. If you haven't been there, now when I think about it, I get a little nauseous, so I can't really really boast about going there right now, but it's really good if you like steak. But it was definitely a way to unwind after a busy couple of weeks. So if you can think, 2:30 a.m. struck on Monday morning, and I was woken up with a full stomach. I was nauseated, and I had extreme pain in my belly. And this continued all day, and I was immobilized from pain, and I thought something had ruptured or something was going on. And I wanted to keep telling myself, it's just your acid reflux. It'll go away with Pepcid. The pain continued until Tuesday, until finally I couldn't take it anymore. So I called the advice nurse at 6 a.m. Tuesday morning, and the doctor advised me that it probably was my gallstone flaring up, and they arranged me to be seen in Stockton later that morning. And the nurse practitioner reviewed my chart at my doctor's appointment, and she wondered why I wasn't referred to surgery sooner. So new medications and a surgery consult ordered resulted from that visit, and now I'm waiting for an appointment to have my gallbladder removed. So while I was thinking about this particular health crisis that I'm facing, I said to myself, the Buddha said that we would all face illnesses, and this includes you too, Candace. Why did I think that I would be immune to this happening? And I wanted to dig a little bit deeper because, being a minister, I was, of course, thinking about all of these Buddhist tenets, and you would think I would be a little bit more proactive. So I found an article online from the Buddhist magazine called Lion's Roar, and this article was entitled Buddhism's 5 Remembrances Are Wake-Up Calls for All of Us. And this was written by Koun Franz and was written on March 30th, 2021. So the author said, if someone were to ask him, what is Buddhism? Koun would reply with the 5 remembrances, which was first found in the sutra called Subjects for Contemplation. And so as I mentioned, I've been contemplating a lot since this past week. He noted that these are intended to be recited, memorized, things that we can say to ourselves every day, something that we should look at when we first wake up or before we go to bed, something that can be taped somewhere in the house, that they're a reminder of our human condition. These 5 remembrances are, number 1, I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. Number 2, I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. Number 3, I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. Number 4, all that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature to change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. Number 5, my actions are my only true belongings. I cannot escape the consequences of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand. So Koun stated that this teaching of the Buddha, and I quote, is complete and it's Buddhism at its very, very best. It's perfectly clear, it's perfectly compassionate, and it's perfectly concise. And you can't argue with it. It must matter, end quote. I have to agree, but I'll also have to admit, it's really difficult. So although I know these basic tenets span the schools of Buddhism, and not being able to embrace them will continue to cause me suffering, why can't I just accept them? Why can't I accept that, yeah, you too, Candace, you're gonna get illnesses too? And our founder, Shinran Shonin, in his deep appreciation of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion, stressed to his followers that we are all perfectly imperfect. And I know, Mr. Sarwatari, you love this saying too. We are all we are perfectly imperfect human beings. And as such, it is difficult to fully accept that we will get older. We will suffer from illnesses. We will be separated from our loved ones. And of course, too, will eventually pass away. So what did Shinran say about this matter, about facing these facts of our lives? And again, I bring us back to Tanisho, which I shared actually a year ago. And this was from Tanisho, the Record and Lament of Divergences. And this was written and translated to record questions and answers between Shinran Shonin, our founder, and his disciple Yuen. And it really shows this close relationship that they had. And there was some differences amongst the disciples about Shinran's teaching. So Yuen brought it upon himself to write this particular book. And so this particular passage always hits home for me. So this particular passage says, although I say the Nembutsu, the feeling of dancing with joy is faint within me, and I have no thought of wanting to go to the Pure Land quickly. How should it be for you, for a person of the Nembutsu? When I asked the master this, master meaning Master Shinran, Venerable Shinran, he answered, I too have had this question, and the same thought occurs to you, Yuembo. So in this exchange between Shinran and his disciple, Shinran reassures him that he's had the same doubts. and that his birth in the Pure Land is even more assured because he cannot rejoice about going to the Pure Land while living. And he reminds his disciple Yuan that it is because of our blind passions of greed, anger, and ignorance that really prevents us from being joyful. However, because the Buddha realizes that we are all human with these characteristics of being human beings, Shinran understands that the wisdom and compassion of Amida Buddha and Amida Buddha's vow is meant specifically for each and every one of us. Shinran further stated that we are quick to think that we might be dying due to a small illness that we experience, which is also due to our blind passions. Although we know that birth in the Pure Land and enlightenment of true awakening, and that we ourselves can become Buddhas due to the vow of Amida Buddha, we're still attached to this life that we know it, full of all of our wonderful attachments that make us comfortable and enjoy life. Shinran tells Yuan that because of all of this, we can entrust ourselves even more deeply to the vow of Amida Buddha, because the Buddha realizes that it's difficult to sever ties in this world. So as I, again, was thinking about all of this, each year, as I get older, my life seems to present more health problems and challenges. And with each of these diagnoses, there is a chance of my early passing if I don't do anything about it. So this is where that fifth remembrance comes in, and it really hits home for me. So my actions are my only true belongings, and I cannot escape the consequence of my actions. My actions are the ground upon which I stand. So of course, as I mentioned, I can't escape growing old, having ill health, separating from loved ones, or even death. However, my actions in regards to bettering my health can only have a positive effect on my life, no matter how short or how long that will be. I obviously couldn't escape the consequences of my ribeye steak dinner and all of those delicious side dishes that I indulged in that left me in pain for the last almost a week now. However, I also know that from the Buddha's own practices, that I also need to approach this new way of eating from the middle path or middle way. I need to select foods that I'll still enjoy to eat as they safely fuel my body with all of this new diagnoses in mind. Not eating anything at all or just overindulging like I did isn't going to sustain me anymore. And as the fifth remembrance said, my actions are the ground upon which I stand. And I hope with these new actions and a healthier me, I can continue to be with all of you as long as I can. Please join me in Gassho. Namu Amida Butsu. 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 Okay, so before we conclude today's service, can you please join me in the singing of Ondokusan number 2 on page 197? And please stand if you are able. However, if it's easier for you to remain seated, please do so. Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Please join me in Gashal. May we truly reflect with gratitude and humility on that which we have been allowed to receive through the teachings of the Buddha. May we always endeavor to listen intently with our fellow beings to the summoning voice of Amida Buddha, and together as one be born in Amida's pure land. With a radiant and boundless mind, may we each regard all living beings with loving kindness without limit. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namandavats, namandavats, namandavats. Please be seated. Okay, so this will conclude today's Shotsuki monthly memorial service for the month of May. Thank you so much for your kind attendance today, and hopefully you were here to hear some of the announcements. But one announcement that I'm so sorry I forgot to mention was our choir practice. And so we are a very small but mighty choir, maybe of 6 people, 7 people, but we will have choir practice next weekend, next Sunday, and this happens usually from 11:15 to 12 here in the temple. So if you would like to join us, feel free to join us for choir, and we're really informal. You don't have to have any previous experience of singing. All ages, all varying abilities are always welcome. Okay. Any other announcements that we might have missed? That's it. Okay. Okay. So thank you, everybody. If you didn't have a chance to offer incense, please do so before you leave. And please continue to stay healthy and well. I know I'm going to surely try. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Namandavats, 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 namandavats. Okay. Thank you. Did you get yours removed?
It was really easy. Did you have that nuclear dye test?
Is that?
Did you have a nuclear dye test?
No. Just
I think mine wasn't stones, but I had the excruciating pain like I had a kidney stone.
Oh.
But what it happens is that the ducts on my gallbladder were real small.
Oh, they got lodged in there?
No, I didn't have any stones, but what happened was the duct was so small, the bile was having a hard time getting through.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so it was like, the pain I was having was the bile trying to get through the duct, and it was
Ugh, I know.
Are you gonna have it out for sure?
Yeah.
Okay, you and I have to talk about side effects after the gallbladder's gone. You have to watch what you eat still.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
It's been eye-opening.
It's even more eye-opening after it's gone. No, the pain was excruciating, because I would lay there in bed and think, the pain was everywhere, I'm thinking, do I wanna go to the doctor? It'll go away. But it was so bad, it wakes you up, and then you're